Welcome along to a bumper edition of this week's BoyleSports Bet Zone with me, Nigel Seeley. The Easter fixture list is around the corner and we have some massive games in the Premier League, 5 of them to be precise. And to look ahead to them, give his best bets and all his thoughts, is former Sheffield Wednesday, Bradford and Southampton striker Gordon Flash Watson. Gordon Flash? Flash your mate, so Gordon. How are you, mate?
Cheers, Nigel.
Good to be back in the Premier League, though. We've done all right last week on the international weekend, but, you know, the bread and butter of the Premier League is where we really want to be, isn't it?
It's the only place to be, and this used to be where you knew the runners and riders going into the final furlong. I mean, Easter was where it sorted out the men from the boys, whether it be at the top or the bottom of the league, so really looking forward to it. Just can't work out why there's only one game each for the teams and not 2 like there used to be.
Oh. They get paid too much money. They need to rest nowadays, don't they? Surely they can't afford it. Just one thing on this Easter period. Obviously, you've played in some big games at the top and the bottom in this Easter period. Famously, the big game what we were talking about off air there, the game where Steve Bruce scored those 2 late goals for Manchester United, which really won them the league against your former club, Sheffield Wednesday. What about that for an experience?
Yeah, it was a mad old day. It was about 95 degrees. We were 1-0 up through a penalty, which is a rarity in itself at Old Trafford, and then that's where Fergie time come from. I think actually Grandstand and World of Sport, but they went off air while we were still playing, and it was played till they score, and they scored 2. Bruce scored in something like, he scored about 7 o'clock and 8 o'clock.
If anyone's watching and has got no idea what Grandstand or World of Sport is, it's a show very similar to Soccer Saturday that used to be aired on ITV and BBC One when Flash used to play many, many years ago. OK, let's move on to the Premier League this weekend, and the first game we're going to start off with is Saturday, BT Sport, 12:45, and probably the biggest game in the Premier League this weekend. It's Arsenal, they're at home to Liverpool. Liverpool completely decimated by injuries. They could have a whole of their first 11, wouldn't probably be playing. They can make a team of 11, and suspensions to Steven Gerrard. Arsenal, on paper, looking a bit short, 4-5 at BoyleSports, but you like them, didn't you, a lot?
I like Arsenal. I think, yeah, listen, these taken like 2 or 3 weeks ago, these were the 2 form sides in the league. I can't get away from Arsenal. I think they're going from strength to strength. They've got goals from so many different places. Liverpool, I think they've just been found out a little bit by in recent weeks. Obviously, they've lost key personnel. I just see Arsenal being far too classy for them, to be honest.
Goals could be at a premium this game. Liverpool have equalled a club record 6 consecutive clean sheets away from home in the league. Have now gone 9 hours and 19 minutes on the road since they last conceded. And Arsenal, they kept 4 clean sheets in their last 4 games at home and only conceded 1 goal in their last 5 Premier League games.
3-1 Arsenal. I like Arsenal.
That was just a complete waste of time.
Well, I just thought I wouldn't interrupt you. You seem to be on a roll.
Okay.
Yeah, 3-1 to me for Arsenal. I think you've got Dejan Lovren gone in there. Outstanding last year at Southampton. Been a complete fish up a tree since he's gone to Liverpool. He comes in for Skirtle, I guess. I just see Arsenal having far, far too much.
Liverpool don't have a great record at the Emirates or the Highbury. They've only won 1 in their last 18 away games in all competitions against Arsenal. 1 win, 7 draws, 10 defeats. So if you look at the statistics, Arsenal look the bet. Do you think they can finish second in the Premier League?
Yes, I do. I do. I mean, I don't think, obviously we'll talk about Man City, I guess, in a while, but they're not to be trusted. Arsenal going from strength to strength. A lot of players are coming back from fitness. Listen, we've said it before, we've gone on record. I think they've got like 12 European quality midfielders.
Arsenal have won 8 consecutive games at the Emirates, and the last time they did that was back in November 2005 when they won 13. So all good if you fancy Arsenal. Double bubble is returns this weekend. If your first goal scorer winning selection scores inside the first 20 minutes, BoyleSports will double the odds for that winning person or your winning goal scorer. And for Arsenal fans, it's all been about one person in the last few weeks. Olivier Giroud scored the first goal in the last 5 games.
Outstanding, outstanding. Since he's come to this country, whenever he's got in the team, he's scored goals. All sorts of levels. Put him in there, he gets on the end of things, and I see him scoring again this weekend.
Giroud, probably the first goal scorer bet, has been a winner in the last 5 games for Arsenal, but a lot of late goals in this game. Let's hopefully we change that with an early one to land the double bubble this week. OK, Saturday again, 5:30, the evening game. One of the shortest prices on the BoyleSports Premier League coupon this weekend. It's the Premier League favourites, Chelsea. They're at home to Stoke. They're 1-4 to win this game. 11-1 you get Stoke. 17-4 the draw. Will we see a shock flash?
No, there's no shock. I think Chelsea champions-elect, they'll win the game. But I think they'll just make sure they do enough. I mean, listen, Mourinho's all about just getting the points. This could be a very, very tight game. but only because Chelsea won't go looking for their second, third or fourth goal. I mean, listen, I expect maybe Chelsea to win 1-0, maybe 2-0.
Chelsea to nil, common thing for Flash, and it's one of my bets this weekend in my Hearts treble, which we'll come on to at the end of the show here on BoyleSports. I really like Chelsea to win to nil. Stoke have failed to score in 6 of their last 7 Premier League matches against Chelsea, and Chelsea have won 10 of their last 13 Premier League meetings with Stoke. So the omens are looking good for Chelsea backers here.
They are, but Stoke are not as bad as a lot of people think. I mean, Stoke have always been like tied in with the Tony Pulis brush. They've got a lot more expansion to them now. They've got options, and that they will cause them problems. Whether they're going to be able to do enough to actually beat Chelsea, I doubt very much. And Chelsea's class will just see them through.
Chelsea, the only team in the whole of the Football League and the Premier League who haven't lost at home this season. The Blues, have conceded just 8 goals in their last 22 games at Stamford Bridge, and they've kept 16 clean sheets in that period. So Chelsea to win to nil at 4-5 is my banker of the week, and I'm going to go for Chelsea to win it by 2 goals to nil. What do you fancy, Flash?
Oh, I'll go with you 2-0. I haven't got a brain on my own.
Oh, and we know that. He's been on to the Wizard of Oz. It says available next Friday.
Yeah, he's got a big heart.
Well, there you go. We need some courage. Who's going to be the goal scorer for the double bubble?
I'm going to go for Hazard. Hazard, I guess.
Hazard, I guess. So for Hazard, he done us the business last time here on the Betzone, and I quite like Hazard as well. Remember, if he does score in this opening 20 minutes, BoyleSports will double the odds on Hazard or your winning goal scorer if he gets that early goal. OK, move on to Sunday, Easter Sunday. 2 games we have. 1:30, Burnley against Tottenham. 11:10, Tottenham. It's all going to be eyes on Harry Kane. Can he come back? Can he score against Burnley? But there's another England hopeful in the ranks at Burnley, Danny Ings, and it could be a big opportunity for him. This is a tricky one, this.
It is, obviously, after Burnley beat Man City as well. They went to Southampton and got beat, but they were better than the 2-0 suggested. So I think this will be a draw. I'd like to sit on the fence here. I think it'll be a scoring draw. But for Tottenham, I think that they'll probably end up 6th.
6 for Tottenham. Lay them in this game or oppose them. Get with a double chance with Burnley. 12-5 is the price for the draw. I actually agree with Flash. I think of all the teams' short prices in the Premier League this weekend, Tottenham, one of the ones I want to take on. Burnley, that place was rocking against Man City, and I think they'll do a similar performance here. Spurs have kept just 1 clean sheet in their last 13 Premier League away matches. That's a concern. But Burnley don't score many goals. Only 14 goals in 15 home games.
But they're together, and they've got belief. And remember, they did keep a clean sheet last time out against Man City. I know Man City didn't turn up, but they've got boys that can score, and they've got them from all over the pitch. We know that Boyd scored in the last game, but we've obviously got Ings, you've got Vokes. There's quite a few boys there that can actually create, and Tottenham, they're flaky in defence. So for me, I see this being a scoring draw. A
scoring draw for Flash, a scoring draw for me as well. 1-1. Tottenham haven't lost back-to-back Premier League games away since March 2014, and we don't think they'll do so here, and we're both going for the draw. OK, 4 o'clock Sunday, Super Sunday. It's a North East derby. Sunderland against Newcastle. It's all about how many players are going to be left on the end at the pitch. I don't think there's going to be 11 players at the pitch this one. This is a very fiery campaign. 2 players with the most yellow cards in the Premier League this season going head-to-head. Lee Cattermole and Jack Colback. It's going to be fiery.
Without a doubt. I think it'll be. I don't think there'll be a lot of quality on offer, and if there is any quality on offer, it will come from the black and white stripes. But I see this game being a draw again. I can see this maybe being a 0-0 or a 1-1. I don't know about Sunderland. I think they're going to try and make sure that they lock up at the back, and in which case they'll probably lose something going forward. So for me, I've got to sit on the fence again. It's not original, but it'll be a draw, 0-0 or 1-1. Sunderland are unbeaten in their last 6 Premier League games against Newcastle. They've won 4, they've drawn 2. They're 6-4 with BoyleSports to get the win here. 21-10 about the draw and 2-1 for Newcastle. And when the draw is the biggest price in these kind of matches, I always think the draw is the value. And again, I don't like to agree with Flash at all, if ever, but I do think a 0-0 draw here or no goal scorer is a great result. I think for both sides, I take the point. I don't see many goals at all. Sunderland just do not score goals, and they do not win at home. So 0-0 for me, and that's the second part of my treble. Sunderland v Newcastle, under 2.5 goals, which is in a single 8-13, but the lovely boys and girls at BoyleSports have given us that in a tasty treble, which we'll come on to after the next game, which is the final part of my treble. Monday Night Football, Crystal Palace host the champions Manchester City at Selhurst Park. Crystal Palace have won just 2 of the last 8 Premier League games at home. Flash, will they get back to winning ways here? Well, listen, the last time we spoke about Crystal Palace, they beat Queen's Park Rangers 3-1. They were 3-0 up inside 40 minutes. I like Palace. I can't be trusting Man City. I think that the whole energy and the bubbles burst for them. So I see Crystal Palace massive. And I'd want to go against Man City.
Against Man City, so 4-1 Crystal Palace for Flash here to get a result, or maybe on the double chance, but 4-6 Man City, he wants to take them on. But the omens aren't good. If you look at the stats, Man City have won their last 7 matches against Palace in all competitions, and their last 4 wins, they've won them all to 0. And Joe Hart's in scintillating form, and I can't see him being breached in that Man City goal. And I think Man City will win to 0 here, which is 15-8 with BoyleSports, and that is my treble this week. Chelsea to win to 0. Sunderland v Newcastle under 2.5 goals, and Man City to win to 0 at 17-2, and the treble is available now on the BoyleSports website. Flash, I know you disagree with me here. The Eagles now have only got 11 games at the Premier League without a clean sheet at Selhurst Park. They always concede a goal, and Man City scored with all 3 of their shots on target last time they matched. But what is your nap this weekend?
I think my nap's got to be under 2.5 goals for Sunderland Newcastle. Under
2.5 goals for Flash at 8-13. Like I said, that's part of my treble. Gordon Flash Watson, thank you very much for joining us here on the Betzone. Have a good weekend. Happy Easter to you.
Thank you very much. I'll lay off the eggs.
Well, exactly. Lay off the eggs. Happy Easter to everybody here on the BoyleSports Betzone. Hopefully it's a profitable one in the Premier League. We're off to watch reruns of Dickie Davis and Flash in action all those years ago in World of Sport.